A few days ago, people had noticed that the Atari VCS webpage had missing content. Notably, all of its content. With no updates since right around November, yesterday on March 18th, there was finally an update in an article and on the Indiegogo webpage. First off, any hardware on Indiegogo, to me, is suspect from the very beginning. Indiegogo doesn't require prototypes like Kickstarter when it comes to everything, let alone hardware. And even though Kickstarter isn't entirely safe itself, it is safer from what I find from it. At first, I did feel very hesitant on it. I was worried that it would turn out to be a scam, similar to what I've read about the Coleco Chameleon. But there were so many Atari fans that really wanted everybody to give it a chance, and when Atari released specs of it, in my mind and a lot of other people's minds, it really didn't change a whole lot of anything. But they still did not have a prototype or any games. Even to this day, we still know nearly nothing about the game's lineups, which I will discuss soon. The icing on the cake was when they had started showing commercials of people really playing on this device, really trying to start showing it off with commercials, and then we come to find out that those games were not actually being played through a VCS, but it was Atari Vault being played on a PC. Not to mention when they began to promote Tempest 4000, which the developer of it said that they had no knowledge of this game being ported to the VCS, and what they had been working on was really versions for all of the other current consoles and the PC. Now, yes, after this debacle, Atari did go and renegotiated with the company, and then they released an announcement saying that they'd make a version for the VCS. But the whole situation still shows that we have yet to really see any content for this platform regardless of the hardware being announced. A lot of people, and myself personally, predicted that the system wasn't going to make its actual launch date, and guess what? It's not going to. With the announcements yesterday, it's being pushed back to an undisclosed date, late 2019, also known as most likely 2020. In my guessing here, if this turns out to be an actually real device. So they posted the update to the Indiegogo campaign, which simply points people towards the blog update. The Indiegogo update has no information in it besides to be patient and that they have made a decision to go all in with a new AMD chip. They again are trying to update, in this update, to bank on people's nostalgia and the love for what the Atari brand used to be, since this is all just bull. It is simply asking us just to stick with them and be fans, but most importantly, I would like to read the final paragraph in the update, which says, "We also acknowledge your requests for more frequent updates, but please bear in mind that Atari and its partners are constrained by mutually agreed approval processes and other restrictions that may be legal, self-imposed, regulatory, and or some combination of these. Details about the product or products and strategies of both Atari and its partners can and will be shared only when all stakeholders agree." Let me sum this up for you. This says scam, no information, scam. This paragraph is nothing more than an attempt at fake legalese to give you a reason as to why there aren't any updates. I'll tell you why there aren't any updates. I will be straight and 100% transparent with you. There is nothing to update. So they give us this bland excuse not to update anything. Have any of you ever heard a statement like this from a major electronics developer like Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo? I never have. I've never heard of them releasing something like this. These companies design specific press releases while they are still in development to keep people's attention, to keep the excitement, and to make sure that people who are interested in it have enough information on it so they do not feel like they are falling flat to the floor. That is what marketing is. I can't believe that anyone involved in this VCS project would not want that. It is part of trying to create a successful product, and if I was any of the companies involved in the development, I would want to make sure that the correct marketing is used to help sell this product, especially in the market that they are trying to capture with this product. I feel like after reading this, it is comparable to the development of a new weapon system. That the government wants to keep many aspects secret from the public. Now I just want to say a couple of small things about the VCS blog post. The title reads, "VCS is getting an APU upgrade." Who cares? Who cares about the hardware if we don't actually know what this is supposed to be running? The only games that we have truly seen that we truly know are even going to be on this are the Atari Vault and Tempest 4000, which is all available on tons of different platforms. This article talks about the VCS upgrading from the Bristol Ridge family of processors, which they had actually selected back in 2017, which isn't totally confusing that they would upgrade it at this point since it was chosen in 2017. Then they are going to be using the Zen CPU cores and AMD's all-new Ryzen embedded chip. They're claiming that this will make it be able to do native 4K with modern HDCP, allowing them to fully support DRM video. These are a lot of claims, but who cares about the hardware if we don't truly know what this thing has to do? We don't know what this machine is supposed to be capable of running. Are you trying to run Atari Volt and Tempest 4000, or are you adding in these things trying to run more than that? They have not been transparent on what they actually want to do with this device. Now, they did mention that this is going to give us a lot better performance, but where are the benchmarks? We have no idea what version of Ryzen technology that this is using. So they tell us the family of chips, but not the version of the chip. We truly have no idea of what the actual performance increase actually is. And now they're telling us that the specific specs on this new hardware won't even be available until closer to launch, whenever that turns out to be. But what does hardware matter? What do the hardware specs matter if we don't even know what this thing runs? We have seen no games. We have not heard anything from developers about games for it. And if there are any developers creating things and specific technology for it, they are not being vocal and they have no marketing. None of this gives anyone who has invested in it any new information, saying that this is not a scam and to put money into it. And for those that have already invested in it in the Indiegogo campaign, I personally would be very worried about it. Where are the hardware specs? Where are our games? These articles are full of non-information, and that's what really is a shame about this. A lot of people predicted that this system would be delayed and it wouldn't make its original launch date. We all guessed that. So I guess that it makes sense for them to justify it by putting in a new chip. I'm gonna be honest, it does. It really does just justify it. And at this point, do they even know what model of Ryzen is going to be used? Are they just saying this because they plan on it? What happens if they change their mind yet again? You know, what other reason would they have for not giving us any other specs? They have no specifications on this at all whatsoever. If this system is going to exist, even, because right now it's truly the definition of vaporware, I don't think that we will even see it for another year. But what do I smell? A Coleco Chameleon scam. Save your money, and if you have money in it, I truly want to know how you feel in this exact moment after hearing all of this and after reading that article. Just remember, no reputable electronics manufacturer acts like Atari has in this situation. This is very, very disheartening as a younger gamer who over the years has gotten into collecting and playing these retro classics. Back at the beginning of gaming, you know, those real memories, learning about those memories, learning about these games and experiencing them for myself. And if they want to capture the attention of someone like myself or someone in my generation, the delays and the mystery behind the system are not going to bring any of us in. It does not bring me in, and I would be one of the first people to back this if I had sheer confidence in it. You're going to lose anyone like me who had actual interest in your product. I have been watching this project since the very beginning, but it was on Indiegogo, and I would rather wait for it to be released before backing it. That's just how I personally invest in technology. I would never invest in an Indiegogo project regardless of who created it, especially in the field of technology. But if it's successfully launched, it would be something that I would 100% invest in. But I have low hopes at this point that this is actually a real product. You all will have to let me know what you think about it. Are you feeling hopeful for it? Does this make you feel less hopeful for it? Please let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video and all of the information and my thoughts and opinions, make sure to give it a like, and of course if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either which way, but I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys again really soon.